Hello everyone, welcome to my Incredible Chess channel. Today we are going to see a very important pawn end game which each and every player must know. Well, we have already seen in the previous video related to the end game that we need to control the key squares. Like we have talked about the key squares for the pawns, and if you have not seen that video, do check it out. I am going to give the link in the description as well as in the I section above. So for every pawn, the key squares are there that we know. So when the pawn is on the 5th rank, we know this thing that the key squares are not only here but also here. So we will be having 6 key squares. Now you will say, like, in this position white's king is already on the key square, so white must win. Of course white is winning in this position, but we have to be very precise when it is the knight's pawn. In this position, this is the knight's pawn, means we call it rook pawn, knight pawn, bishop pawn, queen pawn, king pawn, and all those things. So this is the knight pawn. So when the knight pawn is there, we have to be very careful. Like you can see already in this position that a natural move like g6 will be a big blunder, because it will be stalemate. It will just leading to a draw. So we don't want to do that thing. And if you play king to f6 in this position, then black can be a very smart, you can say, and he can play king to h7. Now in this position, provoking g6, like if you play g6 again, it's a mistake, because black has a beautiful move, king to h8, and after king h8, no matter what you do, the game will lead to a draw. If you push the pawn with a check, whenever the pawn comes on the 7th rank with the check, it leads to a draw, because black will play king to g8, and now whatever you play, it is just going to be a draw because of the stalemate, or you will lose the pawn. That will also lead to just a drawn position. So we cannot play g6. Okay, but in this position you can come back to the starting position which we were looking at. We can play king f7, and now king h8. We are at the same position which we were talking about. Now in this position, it's a very important thing is that we have to play king g6. Once we play king g6, our king is on key squares, of course, but we are heading towards the rook file. So remember one very important rule: whenever it is knight pawn, most of the time, okay, this rule applies that whenever you have the knight pawn on the 5th rank, at that time bring your king to the rook's file. Means we need to bring it on the rook file, either it on the h file or the a file. If you bring the king on the rook file, then you will definitely queen the pawn, provided that you will see what is the condition. So here black must play king g8, and now king h6, whatever he plays, if he goes away, then we'll play king h7, we'll control the queening square, and we'll just push the pawn forward, and we will win the game very easily, because after queening the pawn, it's quite easy, you can say. And if it doesn't go away, if he plays king h8, which is very important, now we push the pawn forward, g6, the kings are standing in front of each other, but it is just lost, because after king to g8, the pawn is reaching the 7th rank without the check. That's a very important thing. The pawn should reach the 7th rank without the check, and opponent's king must move forward, means away from it, and now we will be controlling the queening square, and our pawn will definitely promote, and we will just win the game after a few more moves. So that's the important thing which we need to know about the rook, like knight pawn, and that's all. So I hope that you understood this very important concept. Do like the video if you like it, subscribe to more interesting videos, and we'll be meeting very soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.